Costa. Just tell us why you decided to resign for Phoenix.
Yeah, easy decision to be honest. I've enjoyed my football massively. A lot down to Chiefy and given me a role and responsibility where it's allowed me to show my ability. And look, it's a great place to be at the moment. We've sort of rebuilt the club and have a good mix of young and experience, and like I said, Chiefy got the best out of me last year, and I want to be here, and an easy decision.
So it was quoted in the press release that you had some interest from elsewhere. Was that Auckland, Victoria?
I'm here, so I don't want to speak on particular clubs, but there's obviously no surprise after the team had done so well that probably a few boys have gained interest. So like I said, after not much thought, I knew this was the best place for me to be, and didn't really take too much thought into anything else.
Are you determined to help this team win a major trophy? It obviously came pretty close this season.
Yeah, I mean that's the goal. That's the goal that we should all be aiming for every year. I always say, what's the point otherwise if you're not here to try and win? And I think we put everything into doing that this year. And football's football. Millimeters, seconds, it can define the season. But in saying that, I don't think that did define our season. What did was everything we did up until Saturday night, and we can be proud, and the fans can be proud of this team, and hopefully we can push on from here.
Chief, how key a part of the roster moving forward is getting Costa re-signed?
Yeah, well, that was my priority when I put all the planning in place for next season. I wanted to build around Costa again. I felt as though when he became the focal point of the team, we grew into a different dimension, or we gained a different dimension to our play. For me, it's very important that we have continuity. We have good team chemistry, and for me, Costa is an integral part of that, so it was a no-brainer for me.
It also means you've got 18 for next season. I think it was 12 about the same time last year.
Yep.
How much of a boost is that to have so many locked in for the start of next season?
Yeah, it's great because I can enjoy my holiday a little bit more. No, I think it's fantastic. It just shows how far the club has come, over the last five years. The fact that, at the beginning of last year, the planning was in place that we make these transitional periods of between seasons easier, and because we're signing a lot of young players from the academy and a lot of Kiwi boys in, it just makes things a lot easier. Again, we'll still be looking to bring in some players, but it just makes the task a lot easier.
Costa, when you are considering contracts at your stage of your career, without any disrespect, you're closer to the end than the start. Yeah. What are the things that come into your thinking? Are they different from when you were a 21-year-old player, for example?
Yeah, I think stability is probably important at this stage. It's also where I think I can get the best out of myself. Like I said, I've still got big aspirations to make the World Cup squad in a couple of years, and that was definitely a big part of the decision to be here. Especially, like I said, what the club got out of me this year. Family obviously comes into it. I've got 2 young kids, so that all plays a part in it, and like I always do, write up pros and cons for everything, and like I said, the cons were very minimal as opposed to the pros of being here.
And are you at the stage of your life where you're starting to think about what life after football will look like for you?
Yeah, I'm an overthinker, so I've been thinking about that for probably since I was in my early mid-20s. Still don't have any idea what it is, but I have a few ideas, and obviously staying involved in the game is a pretty obvious one. I love the game, and I've actually learned about myself this year that previous years I've probably tried to hide my love for it a bit, because it seems, not that it seems uncool, but you just sort of try to take your mind off it a bit. But I've watched so much football this year. Chiefy obviously loves the game and overanalyzes everything, and I've bought into that. And obviously had done my badges last year in the off season, so it just opened my eyes a little bit. but my focus is still 100% on playing, and if it wasn't, you can't get the best out of yourself if you're not thinking about that 100%.
Well, overthinking is a quality that a lot of coaches have. Is that, you've done your badges, it's probably a silly question, is that one possible avenue you're looking at post-playing?
Maybe at a junior level. I couldn't think of anything worse than coaching a men's team, to be honest. Having to manage 20 odd blokes, it seems a lot, but Chiefy's obviously been through the stages and is at a point where obviously he's done it brilliantly now, but I feel like that's a learning process to get to that point, and I'd probably learn along the way if that's something I even want to consider, because at the moment probably not. No.
So Costa, is that a motivating factor for staying here, that you kind of mentor this core group of young Kiwi players?
Yeah, I mean, I don't coach any of them, that's, like I said, not my job, but I bounce ideas off the young guys, even the older guys, we bounce ideas off each other. I'm not the most vocal guy in the change room on the pitch, but I think I've learned from my time as a young boy where it was very aggressive getting the message across. It's not like that these days, and I think the young boys trust me to ask me questions, where as when I was a kid I wouldn't even ask any of the senior players because I'd be too scared or nervous to even ask the question, to look stupid or whatever. I think I'm very approachable to the young guys, and I think you can see in my relationship with them that it's very good and very strong, and I can learn a lot of them as well, and I have done this year.
Chief, how much of a bigger challenge is next year going to be?
I think every season's, it provides many challenges. I think last year, I've said it before, if I went into the season and I complained about all the obstacles we had, the season could have derailed very quickly. Funnily enough, I was talking to someone last night, we had a bit of a chuckle, that if I didn't do the apprenticeship that I did through probably the hardest time the club's been through, which was COVID, I probably wouldn't be ready for this job. So I don't look at them as challenges. I don't look at them as obstacles now. I look at them as like proper opportunities to put my my logic and my problem solving skills to test, and I enjoy that part. I think it'd be easy, if you had everything provided, all the resources, all the players and so on, it's not really coaching, it's just more managing. I enjoy coming up with solutions, and I'm looking forward to next season. I think there's a real foundation. We've got the right people at the club, we've got the right mix of players, right mix of young players, good coaching staff, so I'm really going to embrace that again.
How different could it look compared to this season?
I think for a large part, we're going to evolve as a team. I think we're going to take the playing style into a different direction for next season. Won't be significant. It'll be just subtle changes here and there that I think are going to suit the players more that we have available. But I think the team needs to change in terms of dynamic. I don't think we can stay the same, then expect to win anything. We need to evolve. And I think the younger players are going to be so much better for this experience this year. And I actually think the long term, the healthiness of the club over the next 5 or 6 years is going to be, it's really, really healthy, because now you've got a bunch of kids. I hate using the word kids. Got a group of young players mixed with senior players that's the next generation that will come through. And I mean, as long as we don't sell all of them all at once, we can then bring in that next group of players, and they become then the senior players, those younger guys, and then it's very healthy, I think. Very,
so
very.
You won't necessarily be looking at overseas signings so much, relying so much heavily on.
No, I will only bring in people that I think are going to add to the squad. Whether they're foreigners, locals, that's a different story. But we have 18 players. That's enough there to start. Are there gaps in the squad? I think we can add. I don't think they're necessarily fundamental gaps. Like last year when we started, I would say we had a starting 11 that we worked around, and then it was just a matter of bringing the rest of the squad up to where I think we needed to be. Whereas this year, I actually think we have a stronger nucleus. We have guys that can actually come off the bench and make impact, and now we just want to add to that.
And just lastly, you've managed to keep Costa. It sounds like Oscar might be going to Auckland, some reports. would that disappoint you, or what's your feeling around that if he potentially went to
Look, until he makes a decision, I'm not going to make any comment. If he goes to Auckland, he goes to Auckland. I can't do anything about it. He needs to look after himself. He needs to look after his family. This is an open marketplace, unfortunately. Everyone's up for bid once they're a free agent. So I wish the best of luck to him.
So Oscar's going, Costa's staying. So Nicholas Wellington, Bojidar, Kroev, Houston Salas, Jack Duncan, I think are the other four.
Yep.
Correct. Any update you can give us, Chief?
No, I'll tell you what I said to the players the other day when I briefed them. At the moment we're going through a bit of the whole league is going through a bit of a restructuring phase, and we're looking at first of all the amount of money available for next season. And at the moment, we're not sure where we sit. Though we're planning for a certain number, we won't know exactly for a bit. All those players, we've spoken to, we've given them the intention of what we want to do. It's just whether it can come to fruition.
Costa, before the semi-final, there's the news of the alleged betting scandal in the A-League. Just wondering for you, like as someone who played with Clayton, what the players' reaction was to something like that, and I guess on the eve of such a big game, if there's a friend or a former teammate, was that a bit of a shock to find out?
Yeah, I mean, it's a, investigation at the moment and allegations, so I can't really speak on that. And we didn't really know much, probably as much as you guys, or even less, to be honest, before the game. So I can't say it sort of distracted us. It was just a bit of a, like everyone probably, a bit of a shock. And I can't really speak too much on it, but definitely sort of, took everyone aback quite a bit.
And do you feel like she got a penalty?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't even want to laugh about it now because at the time I thought it was a stonewall penalty, and looking back at it, may just reaffirmed it. But even the penalty that we got, he might not have given that on another day. So we got one that was, maybe give or take, that maybe made up for the one that I thought was definitely a penalty. So can't hang your head on that too much and just get on with it.
Yeah, because Chief said in the immediate aftermath that he wants the players to remember that feeling, I suppose, of what it felt like to lose, and use it as fuel for next season. Is that already fueling you for next season?
Yeah, for sure. It's it's hard to put it into sort of emotions, but and also, to be honest, I hadn't sort of felt that for a lot of my career. I was very lucky. I was in 4 grand finals and a cup final, won every single one. And then I lost my first grand final when I was 30, so I just remember that feeling, and very similar to on the weekend. And it's just, it does make you stronger, and like Chiefy said, the young boys, even the guys here that hadn't been to that stage, will learn a lot from it, and everyone will be better for it, to be honest. And we all obviously would like to go all the way, but there's learnings from even losses as well.
And Chief, do you anticipate selling any of your younger players? Like, has there been any interest? I guess like the likes of Alex Paulson, Ben Finn Sumanov had really good seasons. Has there been any interest in the likes of those guys?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised there'd be interest in the players. It's just whether or not the clubs that are interested are willing to make the offer the club would be happy with, and also the player needs to be happy with moving and seeing if it's the best move for them. I think whenever a team does well, all the players have interest. I think that's a normal part of business, and if you look at the long-term strategy of the club, that was one of our goals, was to get these guys in the shop front and hopefully onto bigger and better things. So will there be movement? I would suggest there would be some movement. I just don't know who, and I don't know when.
And so I guess a lot of the recruitment would be imports and guys from the academy, but is there still room to look either in New Zealand or in Australia for other players, or is it just sort of the other two avenues?
I'm only going to bring into the squad players that I think are up to the challenge, and they have the potential, one, to fit the mould of what the club wants in terms of profile, but if there's a shortfall of a player in a particular area, then we'll have to go to the next market and bring in that quality. So the priority is to bring our boys in first, and then obviously boys from around the country. But then if we don't find the right player, then we'll have to look elsewhere.
And your coaching staff, are they all coming back for next season?
Yeah, everyone's back. Just have one. My analyst has decided to pursue other interests, so but everyone else is back.